A very good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, Patricia and David, ZMH 286. And it's not a very good evening here, but before I even tell you about it, I just want to see if Whitehawk is on frequency, because they are very close, if not anchored, and they might be just waiting to tell us, but let's just see. Whitehawk, Gulf Harbour. Yeah, I've got you. Have you dropped the pick yet? Over? Okay, that's why I took you first, because I knew you'd be pretty busy. So not too far from to go, 7 miles to go, with 2.5 to 3 meters. And boy, that's not very pleasant. I'm sure you'll be very pleased to get in. Could you just repeat the wind strength? Over. 20 to 25 knots. Okay, well, we'll leave you to get back topside. Thank you for that. Stay safe. It will be not very great light, but it will be good to get in, and I am sure that it's well lit to go into Suva. Just stand by one. Lynette.
Yeah, hi Lynette. I just thought very quickly I'll give you the Fiji forecast. They still have that strong wind warning out for all waters, but just as you said, they're calling off today southeast 20 to 25, but they're also saying that the winds should ease to 15 to 20 later tonight.
They've only got an hour to go.
So
Yep, you'll not too far to go, so at least it will be fast with that wind speed in a reasonable direction to get into Suva. Okay, stay safe. Hello to John, and we'll maybe hear you from Suva after you've had a good night's sleep. Thanks for being there. I didn't know what I saw you were about an hour away, but I thought it might have been a little bit quicker. Never mind. You'll get there tonight and get out of the swell. Thanks, Lynette. We'll clear with you and then just tell you that it is absolutely miserable weather here. 18 degrees though. We've got a pile of fronts, warm fronts, cold fronts, occluded fronts, troughs. The barometer is plunging, 1017.7. But it's warm. This 18 degrees is absolutely amazing with the rain. 6 knots from the north, slight bit of east in it, but basically north. So not very much fun here. Koh-i-Noor has arrived in Savu, so that's good. Whitehawk, as you've just heard, is all but into Suva. Just another hour and a bit to go. So we've got a report from Pajean. Lots of people have left Minerva. There's just Pajean and Latsig now in North Minerva. Y2K in Funafuti. It's got a bit of sporty weather too. 18 knots of northwest there, but 27 degrees. Now for Freitas, just to let you know that Lady Annabelle has indeed left Australia. They've got plenty of wind, 20 knots from the southwest, and we will have that again tomorrow, but I won't give you their position because the AIS is really old. Funnily enough, there's an Annabelle. Annabelle has left New Zealand, but not Lady Annabelle. So Lady Annabelle distinguishes herself from Annabelle that left New Zealand. Okay, let's go to Freitas. I haven't got much news for you, everybody, because we've been doing our hobby in the morning and came home to motorsport, which is on the Sunday afternoon. It's really the only time we watch TV. And we had an exciting race to watch Shane van Gisbergen win on the really interesting track in Portland, Oregon. Okay, Freydis, Gulf Harbour. Oh, it's not all that strong tonight, Paula, but not too bad. There's just a lot of action in the atmosphere, so it's not all that clear. But go ahead, over.
Okay, position is 17 degrees, 4 south, 179 degrees, 3 east. We have 25 knots easterly wind gusting 30 with over 2 meters swell. We're on a course of 55 doing about 7 knots. Double reef trying to slow down with 65 nautical miles to go, and an autopilot clearing up.
Oh, don't you love that? But only 65 miles to go, so yeah, I hate it when you have the autopilot playing up, because with those sorts of conditions it's rather exhausting at the helm. I know all about that, and after we had experienced that, we put in a complete separate autopilot so that we could switch one off and use the other. We were in conditions that, God, I could only stay on the helm about half an hour. It was exhausting. Okay, thank you for the very clear report. 1744 south, 17935 east, on a course of 355 true, at 7 knots heading to Savu Savu. The wind is 25 knots from the east, gusting 30 with greater than a 2 meter swell. The autopilot is being a bit obstreperous. 65 miles to go, so a nice quiet slow night, which will be good. Double reefed, and hopefully conditions. I'm just going to pass the microphone to see if David has anything extra.
What's her name? Hi, Paula. I hope you heard what I had to say to Whitehawk. The Fiji forecast, wind-wise, is pretty much what you are getting. They're calling off 20 to 25, but gusts obviously would be higher than that, and that's what you're reporting. They do say, again, that winds should ease a little bit tonight to 15 to 20. So maybe add 5 knots to that. Who knows? And at least if that happens, it'll be a little bit easier for you steering. The seas, about the same. Rough seas, becoming moderate to rough later tonight, as you certainly would guess. And for the next day, east to southeast winds 15 to 20. So they are calling off an ease in the winds. So hopefully that is the case. Over.
Yeah, thanks for that, David. I was actually curious if anyone on the net had experience of going into Savu Savu in the dark. We would like to go in and just get answer before the morning.
The Whitehawk.
Yeah, we've got Whitehawks and Suva, David. Going into Savu Savu, you do need to keep a wide berth going around, but we have anchored at Cousteau. It's quite acceptable, I think, certainly in the dark. So find the Cousteau anchorage and probably drop the hook there. Just stand by.
Yes, Patricia is quite right. There is a light on the end of the reef, and believe me, take a very, very wide berth of that light, very wide. Then you can arc in to the Cousteau area and anchor. That would be easy. You're pretty much protected from the wind when you do that. Then the next day you can head into Savu Savu. So that's our experience, and we've been there a couple of times. So good luck with that. Just don't cut anything close. Just stay wide. Over.
Yeah, Romeo, that got you. Okay, that's great. Thank you very much for that. I'll probably sign off. I'll get into the rest of the net So I'll be back up in the cockpit. So thanks for your help, and I'll email to you guys about it tomorrow.
Okay, good to have been with you on the trip. It's been an interesting one with the stop. So, yeah, stay safe. And actually, Cousteau is a great place to do some snorkeling after you've checked in to come back there. It's quite pleasant to get out of Savu Savu. All right, we'll clear with Freydis and go to Aka. Oh, a bit light from you tonight, Ed, so good evening to you both. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, we caught the day with the double loose main and just a quarter of the Genoa. I was doing 4.5 knots to join our islands and up to Donwell. Later on, I can speed it up to 6 to make up the difference. But, yeah, we had downstream. The wind was just a touch of north there here, easterly, but just a touch. The swell was up to 3 meters, and the wind was knocked off to maybe about 22. Consistently now is 25 to 30.
Okay, so pretty much the same conditions that Freydis is experiencing. What's your position, Ed? Over.
Yeah, Freydis must have all my I didn't see him at all. He's 20 miles ahead now. I'm at 1.8 179.35. I'm still holding short for another 10 miles now. And Freydis still listening. If you go to the east side of Coral, or the west side of Coral, sorry, you've got the lee of Coral, and it's a little easier to steer on that. This over.
Yeah, Romeo Sackberg, he's actually on autopilot again at the moment. It's just been temperamental, so it's just going to be a very active walk tonight.
Yeah, I think she got that. So if anyone else is listening, to get a bit of rest from that strong easterly, go to the west side of Coro to get a little bit of shelter. So you'll be trucking along tonight on Aka and clearing in tomorrow. So have a good night. Is there anything else you want to tell Paula on Freydis? Over. Okay, thank you for the addition. Boy, it's a long time since we've been there. I didn't even remember what the depth was there, but I do remember some nice diving. Okay, Ed, so you'll be having a nice cold one this time tomorrow night and enjoying it. Boy, I don't think we've got anyone left on passage then, so but we will be on again tomorrow. Is there anybody else wanting to say anything tonight? This is Gulf Harbour Radio listening.
Just a quick question, Patricia. Did I hear this morning that
Yeah, sorry, there was a double there. Would the other person just stand by? I think you asked about Minerva, and the only ones left, according to Rich, are Pogean and Latzig. So the rest are all on their way, and it looks like they're all going to the west side of Fiji. Over.
I thought you said that you asked them to move on.
Yeah, well, I did hear that from Vicky actually. Evidently, a couple of the power boats were, when they found out they were going to Fiji, the customs found out they were going to Fiji, they said, well, go now. It was sort of not a request, it was more of an order. Over.
Wow. Yeah, just health and safety, I suppose.
Drugs.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems with drugs, and I think reading between the lines that the powerboats in particular, they're looking at all the possible switching of drugs from boats from New Zealand to the fishing boats and then into the communities. So I suspect that's why the boats have been boarded. And that the power boats, I suspect they will get a good going over when they get there. But anyway, they'll be watching very carefully on the AIS, I'm sure, to see whether anyone slows down. And I wonder if their AIS is working as poorly as mine, because I meant to have full instant satellite coverage, but boy, some of them are very, very slow. So some of the reports. Anyway, okay, we'll clear with Arca. There was somebody in behind. Who was that?
Lady Annabelle.
Oh, Lady Annabelle, there you are, and you are one of the ones that I had a look at the lovely picture on the AIS, but your AIS report is about 8 hours old, so it will be interesting to hear where exactly you are. Go ahead, over.
Lady Annabelle is about 20 miles island, 31, 458 south, 158, 39, 58, over.
Okay, Lady Annabelle is about 20 miles west of Lord Howe, and we all know where that is, and the position is 3155. Don't worry about the decimals. 15839 east. It does look on the models that you've got a fair amount of wind. Go ahead with your course, speed and wind, over. So when you say very little sail up, do you use just the main mast and sail there, or what is your very little sail situation, over?
We are in a mel, and we are full. We hopefully fly on that and our headquarters is over.
Oh, okay, so that's good. I thank you for that. I didn't know what it just looked like in a mel, but wasn't too sure from the photo.
Lighter winds tomorrow.
Yeah, David reckons lighter winds tomorrow, but interestingly, at what model are you looking at? Because on the GFS it had pretty much the same. So
EC.
EC. Oh yes, he's looking at EC. He seems to be favouring EC MWF at the moment, but we'll see what you report tomorrow night. Who am I talking to, over? Good evening to you, Adam. Yeah, it's not all that great a copy from you tonight because of all the weather systems, I suspect, but I'm sure Freydis will be interested to have heard your report. All right, we'll clear with Lady Annabelle, and wish you all... Oh, how many on board, over? 2 POB, okay. And Mr. Armel, rest his soul, said that was the perfect boat for 2 POB, and that's how he designed it. All right, I'm sure you're enjoying it. Okay, this is Gulf Harbour Radio, and Lady Annabelle is coming. I've got a long trip ahead of them, heading to Fiji from New South Wales. Is there anybody else? No, nothing heard. We'll get back to the fire, and I'm sure you probably are amazed that we lit the fire when it's 18 degrees outside, but it's just been so grey and wet and miserable that we decided that would cheer us up. Finally, the rain from New South Wales has caught up with us, but they're still having a lot of trouble in Sydney with the flooding of the rivers. Okay, cheers everybody. If anybody wants the frequency to make contact with anybody, this is Gulf Harbour Radio Clear. It's all yours. Cheers all. Nobody on streaming.